Hi. So today, we're gonna meditate, obviously, and Yoga's like, we are? Yes. So we're gonna meditate, and it's gonna be on relationships and change. Our relationships, I've said this before, they come from so in our brains, we connect to our caregivers at an early age. Those same patterns get reused and rewired for connection later on in life. And there's a lot of expectation that's been built, I think, partially because of narrative and stories, and also because we're humans and we have a romanticism about us. And that expectation is that parents are going to act a certain way, take care of us a certain way, and be a certain level of maturity, both financially or stability-wise and also emotionally. And often what I've found from people is that there's a lacking on one or the other. So it might be that there's just full-on abuse and neglect where the daily needs aren't met. But in other cases, on the surface, the needs are met. There's food, there's shelter, there's clothes, but there's a lack of emotional maturity that allows for the parent to really connect with the child. And then we see that when we're humans. I keep saying that, but it's true. And when we think of Maslow's hierarchy of needs, we tend to think of them as a pyramid. Like there is a hierarchy. And from a body perspective, there is, because if you don't have food, your body will waste away, right? If you don't have shelter, especially if you're in an area that's unsafe, then you're going to waste away from the elements. But in general, just like our survival response doesn't really understand the difference between a perceived threat and an actual, there's a tiger that's chasing after me, our feeling of nourishment as children doesn't feel fulfilled just because we have a plate of food in front of us. There's this need for love and connection and attachment that's ingrained in humans, and it's how we've grown to survive. And it's part of why, like, there's a bonding process for the parents and the kid too, because that's a part of it, right? So all of that is to say that relationships as we get older are complicated by our past, and there are things we can do to mitigate that. There are resources out there. There's therapy, there's workbooks, there's regular books, there's a lot. But I tend to find, just in addition to those things, because there are some great resources out there, I find that meditation can help us subvert the consciousness that wants to get in the way of us sometimes understanding where we have some pain, where we have some issues. And it can allow us to feel and process maybe little things we didn't realize are still lurking there. So that was a bit of a lead-in, trying to keep those short. We're going to get into the meditation, so find a space either laying down or sitting that is comfortable for you. We're going to close our eyes. I'm going to go ahead and take a deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. And be slow, long, and deep in through the nose. Out through the mouth, really feeling that abdominal region lifting and coming back into the body. The diaphragm moves slow and controlled. And I'm going to count us down from 5 to 1. And as I do, we're going to feel more and more relaxed, at ease, safe. 5, we feel the crown of our head, our chin, forehead, cheeks, jaw, back of the head relax. Surrendering to the surface or air beneath or around it. Our eyelids grow heavy. 4, we feel our throat, our shoulders, our arms, our elbows, our forearms, our hands, our fingers, our wrists melt deep into the surface, providing them support. The muscles relaxing and releasing any tension. 3, we feel our heart, our lungs, our digestive organs, our back, our muscles throughout our abdomen relax and release. Any tension present in the cells or the tissues dissolves as we dissolve into the safety of the surface surrounding us. 2, we feel our hips, our legs, our knees, our shins, our calves, our ankles, our feet, our toes melt. Heaviness grows throughout our body. The muscles releasing any tension. Stress melts and dissolves as we sink deeper into the surface beneath us. One, we feel at peace and at ease. We find ourselves at a carnival. It's just us at first. We see the games, the rides, the bright colors. You might even see a cotton candy station, caramel apples. The carnival feels alive, even though it's just us. And as we walk, we find a game. This game is a rope ladder game. And on the rope ladder, we see our inner child. Our inner child is trying to climb up this ladder, but it's uneven. They're constantly feeling like they're losing their balance. As a string, the rope is meant to be difficult, shifting very quickly under our inner child's weight anytime they go to make a move forward or back. We see at the bottom of the rope ladder game a parental figure, an authority figure, someone from childhood who we wish could have loved us, we wish could have cared, we know wanted to, but didn't know how to show up as a responsible adult. And from the bottom, they're jeering at us. Maybe they're actively teasing us. Maybe they're silently mocking, or maybe they're completely neglecting to pay any attention to the struggle of the child trying to get up the rope ladder. And at the top, where the prize at the carnival would be, we see our ideal. We see a partner that's loving, kind, caring. And all our inner child wants to do is get up the ladder. With every movement, they feel unsteady, lacking support from below. The rope ladder is too far from our ideal for us to get help from them. And we see this child struggling. We walk up to the rope ladder, a small ladder leads us towards the top, just below where the ideal partner is, close enough to the actual rope to provide some steadiness and support for the inner child. We grab on to both sides, steadying it. The inner child may look at us with dismay, with distrust, but we let them know that it's safe. We let them know that while we can't change the past, we can stabilize the future. If the inner child needs a little assistance, we might offer them one of our hands while the other hand continues to stabilize the ladder. We watch as, with the assistance of and love from ourselves, the inner child is able to climb up. Slow and steady, they make their way up the ladder. They might test the different rungs. They might move swiftly once they reach their footing, but we watch as they ascend. And as they ascend, the ladder starts to fall from under their feet, dissolving the path from the past to the now. The habits that have been created based on old programming fade away as our inner child reaches the top near us. We hold and hug them, letting them know that they're safe. We ask if there's anything that they want to say or release from the person below. And if they do, we show them a bag. We ask them to put it in. These may be thoughts, they may be words, they may be screams, they may be pieces of paper that they write things on. But we let them fill up the bag with anything that they need to release. Any feelings, burdens, unexpressed or expressed, that just need finalizing. And once the bag is full, we see that the inner child is no longer an inner child, that they've grown. They've grown to mirror the us that entered this place, the us from the now, from the present, allowing all old wounds to be healed and cleansed, released, acknowledged, and let go of. We watch as the inner child merges into us. As we do, we release the bag, and from it explodes fireworks. The past figure disappears and dissolves. We scoot up the top to meet our ideal, and we find ourselves transported onto a carousel together. Here we're able to connect. Maybe we hold hands, maybe we see a face, maybe we just see a figure. We have a knowing of the energy, of the behaviors, of the treatment, of the way that we feel, and the safety that's present in this relationship. Something new that we might not have felt before. We know what it feels like. We allow ourselves to feel safe. We take in the comfort as the ride comes to a stop. We both get down and off, holding hands. We walk out of the carnival. The ride's brightly lit in the background. We know that being ourselves is our prize for climbing the ladder, and that the bonus is to be with someone where we can love and be loved for who we are, letting go of old baggage. We may hug. We might just let them go, knowing that somewhere this energy exists and that it's up to us to call it into our lives, through our actions, through our releasing, and through our wholeness. And they dissolve away as the carnival fades into the background. I'm going to lead us out of the meditation, counting up from 1 to 5, and as I do, we feel refreshed, relaxed, and ready to take on the day. 1, we start to become aware of the breath moving in and out of our bodies. 2, we start to become aware of our digestive organs, our cardiovascular organs, everything moving, circulating. 3, we become aware of our muscles starting to make slow contractions. 4, we start to wiggle our fingers and toes. 5, we open up our eyes. Okay, so 5 minutes to reflect. You have a couple options. You can reflect on the figure that you saw. You can reflect on how you felt. You can reflect on the struggle of your inner child and what those different rungs were. So what insecurities or other stuff might be lurking there. Yeah, if you saw your ideal or felt something specific there, you could reflect on that, or you could reflect on the whole experience. Whatever works, but there are a lot of different things that you can pinpoint throughout the meditation where you might get some clarity on where you're feeling stuck in life, especially where it might relate to a partnership, and what things need to be let go of so that either a new partnership can come in or the partnership can evolve to be something different. So we've got 5 minutes for reflection. Oh, and as always, you don't have to journal. You can paint. You can do whatever kind of creative expression works for you and let out whatever needs to be let out, either through a once upon a time or if you're painting, just allowing the images to come up. Same with doodling. So process how you need. Let's get to it. All right, so that is 5 minutes. If you have more that you want to reflect upon, feel free. If you're doodling or painting, I know that can often take a lot longer than 5 minutes. But I hope this was helpful. Maybe there were some surprises there. Maybe the figure wasn't who you thought it would be, or maybe you did or didn't see a clear face, because you could be in a relationship and maybe you were hoping to see that person at the top and that wasn't who you saw. Or maybe you didn't see anyone in particular, and that's okay too. Just hopefully it helped clear out any kind of old blockages or patterns, which you might have been surprised by too. I know what I thought was interesting was I could tell that some of the rungs on the ladder had words inscribed on them. I don't remember specifically which words, but I know that as they were falling and dissolving, there were actual things that they were supposed to represent, which I thought was cool. Anyway, thanks. Have a great day. Hopefully this was helpful.